Beckley, and I'm a visibility and social media strategist. Hello. You are in the right place if you're looking right up where it says Coach's Lounge with Barbara J. Beckley. Yes. Well, we're going to get started because I don't like to waste time anymore. I really like to dig in and make sure that you get to meet these wonderful coaches, consultants, and just people that are changing the world for others. That's what I have to say. They weren't getting a spotlight. And I told myself, I want to make sure they get spotlighted. I want to make sure you get to know these coaches because you never know, you might need them. And I tell people, everybody should have a coach. Oprah Winfrey has a coach. Come on now. So you can't really say that you don't need a coach. So today I always call when I have women on, queens. Well, I have a king today, and I've been waiting on Christopher Rausch to come on. He is the world's most effective and impactful, unstoppable, no excuse coach, speaker, workshop facilitator, retreat leader, and the list goes on. And he's going to talk about more stuff because I just love this man so much. We've been knowing each other, I think, for 3 years now. And I'm telling you, you're talking about a rock star in what he does. You're going to hear it. We're going to have some conversation. You get to know this man. You get to know how much of an awesome coach he is. And I'm telling you, he's a friend of mine, and I know he could be a friend of yours. We're going to bring him right on. What after this clip? We'll be right back.
Thank you. Oh my God, what an introduction. That was beautiful, Barbara. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that again. I was like, damn, I look good in some of those.
Yeah, you look very good, very handsome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, I've been waiting for this. Yes. So, Christopher, I'm telling you, you have been an inspiration for me because, like you said, no excuses. Every time I even think, this is where you put me now. This is your fault. I'm going to blame you first, but I thank you for this. Every time I think of something like, well, this happened. Well, according to No Excuse Coach, does that sound like an excuse? Look, I go back and I like, or the reason why this happened, why this certain post didn't go right that I put out. Well, what was you doing when you created the post? Were you doing something else? Maybe that's why you made the mistake. So, which just happened yesterday.
Oh, really?
And somebody called me on it.
Oops.
Big time. Yes. Oh, really? Big time. Basically, they said, if you're trying to show excellence in what you do in your lane, you at least need to make sure that your own show is spelled right.
Oh, wow. Somebody's got too much time on their hands. Jeez. They could come at it from a different aspect. They don't have to sit there and poke you in the eye with it. Hey, I caught something here. Can I give you some advice? Might want to spell your name right or something? Jeez.
Since they've been knowing me for a while and they know that I'm trying to get to the next level, they said I'm not sugarcoating nothing. There's nothing to sugarcoat. So they basically just told me. I mean, they wrote me another, what they say, another A.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, dang. First I was like, all because I spelled, instead of coaches, I put coaching because, and they said, yeah. And people look at that and they're not going to tell you. And they're going to be looking at you like, okay, look at that, blah, 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 blah. She can't even put her own show name, So they went into, I said, okay. I sat back. I didn't make the excuse. I listened.
Mm-hmm.
Be proud of me. I listened to them. go, vroom, vroom, vroom. And I said, okay. I said, I hear you. I get it. And I make note of that. And I will move forward. And I'm not saying no excuse about it. Yeah.
Good, good. Do you respect this person?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I feel like now, like you said, I feel like it could have came a different way. But this is the bad part. See, now this is going back, and I know you want to talk a little bit about that, about past, your past stories in your life.
Right.
I always had people, Christopher, in my life that, like, might start with my mother. I mean, it was just like they didn't sugarcoat. It wasn't beating around no bushes. Like basically, like da 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 da. So I think I'm just automatic used to hearing it like that. So does it bug me? Yeah, it bugs me a little bit. But then on the other hand, I'm like, well, I'm used to it because that's who everybody that comes my direction like that. And I just say, okay, it's just love, right? It's just tough love.
Right. I mean, there's a certain aspect of how somebody can pitch something to you. I mean, to be sensitive and understanding, like, hey, maybe that person was having a rough day in that moment and not try to pile onto them. We've talked about this before. We share a mother. I mean, literally the way you describe your mom is the same way. I would give my mom my homework before I would turn it in and it would just be bleeding. She's, oh, you should have had a comma here, blah, blah, blah. Like, she just got off literally on like making me look stupid. Like, oh, look at you. And like, so but I think in another way that there's a tactile way to let people know that they made a mistake without piling on them. So some people get kind of their jollies with that, and I don't appreciate that. And ultimately, it comes back down to our own self-respect. Like I don't let people talk to me like that. I'd sit there and say, "Pardon me, I appreciate you letting me know, but I would appreciate if you don't talk to me in that tone again."
Yeah, and then that's
them well.
Yourself. What do you say?
I wish them well. I'm like, get out of my life. I'm nice about it. Go live a good life. Leave me alone, or I unfollow them, unfriend them. Yeah, I've got boundaries now because I thought I had to tolerate that stuff, and I thought I had to get everybody's good graces. Because I didn't have very much love and attention in my life. So I got some attention. Oh, you're gonna talk like shit to me? Okay, I would like take it, but then I just started realizing like, no, I don't have to. Yeah. That's why I don't have a relationship with my sister anymore. So long.
Well, yeah. I was going to say that's why a lot of relationships for me, family wise too, like you said, I don't have anymore. I create them boundaries. I'm like, I don't need to deal with this mess.
Good.
Like, really?
No, you don't.
Yeah. I mean, because believe me, because it's on the reverse side of it, Christopher. They don't deal with whatever. So who am I to sit there have to deal with the crap? You don't deal with I don't deal with your crap either. So
good. Yeah. I'm proud of you.
But see, again, this goes back to you, sir, where when I met you, and I was telling you stuff because we talked all the time, especially about my issues. I feel like I was on the couch and you were kind of my counselor.
I am. I'm your friend too.
I feel kind of bad because I said, I know I need to pay him. I mean, he's really doing a lot for me. I got to give him some money. And, but you just started off by, explaining what you do. And then you're raw with it, but you're, okay, how can I say this? You're raw with it, but you have such a caring heart and you can see it because you want to see people win. You want to see people have those boundaries. You want to see people be treated right and not disrespected because it's BS, like you said, and you went through it. I went through it. Like I said, I feel like we're, brother and sister from two separate mothers. We really are. Yeah. And just like when you said about your mother with the paper with all the red, well, I think I told you the story where I came home, high school, straight A's. My mother looked at the paper, looked at me and said, well, where's the A+? I want to turn around and say, you could take you and the A+.
I got your plus right here. I got your +1 right here. Meet Manny, Mo, and Jack. Come on now. Hey, look over there. Crack. Mm-hmm.
See, you would have been. See, now I'm thinking about it. Back in the day in school, I needed you as my brother, my big brother. Oh yeah, because you could have been fighting off people.
Come on, I dare you to say that to her again. Yeah,
you're like, she's ugly. She need to go back to her planet. I mean, that's what they would tell me.
I'm like, do you smell that? Do you smell that? Oh, you need to brush your teeth.
They'd have been like, I don't like him. They would have said something like that and be like, I don't like you either.
It's okay.
But yeah, back you think about it, but when you were younger and stuff, it's like, wow, it's, but like you said, like we were just talking about before we came on about the triggers in our lives. I'm in my 50s now, mid 50s, and some things still trigger me to say, ugh. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up. And we were talking about before, shut up and stupid. Because that's all I heard when I was a kid. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. You're stupid. Or POS. I got that a lot.
So yeah,
and look at me today. I'm rocking and rolling, and I wished it all well. And I said, you know what? That doesn't define me, and I get to grow from this experience. So many people stay in that victim mindset, and they, oh, you know, my mom did this to me, or my dad did this to me. Like, yeah, they did it to you once. You've done it to yourself for thousands of times over the last 20 years of your life. Like, who's to blame? You or them?
See, that's where the key. You just that's you said that stuff. Yeah, that stuff. Love. That's the key, like you just said, Christopher. Is okay. They did it back in the day with you, right? You got all that crap. Okay, they're gone or moved on or whatever, or passed away, like my mother, and you're still letting this stuff. So whose fault is it now? I mean, now no excuse, right? What are you talking about now? This you're creating this.
Amen. That's what it's all about. You go look in the accountability mirror and go, geez, why do I keep doing this over and over? Ask yourself, why do I hang on to this? What good is it serving me? Oh, it's keeping me safe and complacent because I get to bitch about everything. And then what do? I find other people to bitch about it too. And then what we sit around, we go, I have a bitch session. Woo! Look at us, poor us, poor us. Okay, I'll see you next week. We'll keep bitching about it. It's like, what can we do to get over it? Like, really, you know?
I'm laughing because I've been there before. I mean, just a few years ago, now it's like I can't. Isn't it weird, Christopher, when you start? Well, no, it's not weird because you learn things, you grow, especially when you have. I'm gonna put it out there, right? Coaches lounge. That when you finally get it, like I used to be, I'm totally vulnerable here. I always be open to people to say, "Hey, I was there. I can connect with you." I was in that B session too, where I was just like, and they did this, and I don't know why. And then somebody coming in, yeah, Barbara, I don't understand either. And then we're, and he said, okay, next week, like you said. And now, if I even feel that coming on in a conversation or see somebody saying it, or even my lips might just I stop myself because I'm like, there is one thing you can't get back is time.
Right.
Why am I going to take my time, my energy, and everything and doing the B sessions, and it's not getting me anywhere? Right. I mean, nowhere.
Does nothing. It keeps you stuck and complacent. Keeps you in that victim mindset, and that's ridiculous. You got to take ownership and responsibility. And people ask me, like, Chris, how do you do that? How did you stop blaming your mom? How did you not have anger towards your mom for being, homeless and picking the cats and the cigarettes and the dogs over you before anybody ate? And I said, for a long time, it was tough for me. I tried to understand where she came from. She said, I did the best I could. And sometimes I'd be like, no, that's BS. You didn't, you could have, I'm your flesh and blood. You should have taken care of me first. You shouldn't take care of the cats first. But then it wasn't until I was actually writing my book that's going to be out here in 2024, which, you kindly put it up there, but whoops. It's just you and me, kid. It's a story of a mother and son survival on the streets of California. It wasn't until I was really digging into this book and I thought, my mother used to tell me I'm 4 years old. I'm 4 years. She would say, I'm 4 years old. I'm like, Mom, you're a grown woman. Start acting like it. You're incredibly smart. Why don't you just take responsibility for your life and stop, putting it off on everybody else. And then as I was writing the book, I was like, wait a minute, 4 years old. What happened to her at 4 years old? Why did she keep saying 4 years old when she's this brilliant person? Book smart. She was brilliant. And it dawned on me. I'm like, oh, her parents got divorced when she was 4 years old. All right, let me dig into this for a second. Let me try to understand her, because Stephen Covey says, seek to understand and then to be understood, right? And so I'm like, okay, so she was born in 1942. 4 years later, it's 1946. So 1946, like I have no idea what the world was like in 1946. I have no idea what it meant to grow up with, young parents. I mean, her mother and her father were in their early 20s when they had her. So it's now in the Depression, we got wars going on, it's women are treated differently, like might I have been like her had I gone through all of her experiences, what I'm trying to say. So had I been through all of her experiences, the abuse, the neglect, the divorce, the cheating and all these different things, might I have been like her? And when I first thought about it, Barbara, I was like, no, because I would have, and I was like, no, but I'm not me. I'm actually her. So in her skin, I might have been like her. And I might have thought, because originally she was supposed to place me for adoption. That's why the book's called It's Just You and Me, Kids, because literally she was going to place me for adoption. When she delivered me, the nurse said, do you want to see him? Because I guess the nurse didn't know, because normally they don't let you really see him. And so when they laid me on her chest, she said, oh, I guess it's just you and me, kid. She was already on welfare. She already had my sister. She was 26 at the time. She was 19 when she had her first daughter, my sister, and she decided to keep me. So she was really good. She literally knew from the beginning, like, she shouldn't have been a mom, and she was in no place to be a mom, but she decided to take me on anyway. And I'm glad. Like, people have asked me over the years, don't you wish you had a normal life? And don't you wish you had had normal parents and stuff like that? And I'm like, no, I'm grateful for all of those experiences because they helped me become the man I am, because I chose not to be like her. I chose not to be like her. I chose to invest myself into books and really understanding people. And my mother didn't want to understand anybody. She wanted to be understood. She didn't give a crap. She was like, I'm the smartest person in the world. I'm not going to take, she just told everybody what she thought. And I decided I wasn't going to be like her. I have tendencies to be like her, but I also have filters now that say, Chris, take a step back. Don't react to the situation like you want to tell this person to go F off. Like, respond, consider the situation, ask them more questions, understand where they're coming from. If they're trying to hurt you, perhaps they've been hurt in their life, and like, dig into that stuff and try to understand people. And as a result of all my experiences, all the bad stuff that I had happen, I'm the man I am today. So I'm grateful for all of it. I don't want to ever relive it, but I'm grateful for all of it.
Well, I'm grateful that you're here because you came into my world as a coach and as a friend. And that's just been a special thing in my life. I love meeting people that have been through, dealt with stuff like you said, but then not becoming a victim to it and showing others that there's hope and if there's a connection too. And that's what I like about what you do, Chris, for not just myself, but for others, because, we just got to be real raw with it and just say, you dealt with crap. Okay. I'm glad you told the story about your mother, how we don't know what she was dealing with at 4 years. Like you said, 1942. Yeah, my mother was born in 1938. Well, they sent her away when she was 11 to Chicago. She lived in Mississippi. She thought was family. Come to find out, family really dissed her and created her into a prostitute when she came at the age of 12.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Oh, my God.
She got sexually molested a few times. They dropped her out of school. They told her she didn't need schooling. I mean, so she just got 8th grade level, maybe 7th. And then she just fought. It's like her whole life, she was just fighting. So then when I came in the picture, yeah, okay, I got somebody to fight with,
right? I got somebody to control and dominate. Yeah, it's about that control and domination.
Yeah, because she didn't control other things she could control. So everybody she was trying to control, like you said, when y'all was living with you and your mother, I was just like, you lived it. My mother, I mean, she was 4'11", Christopher, and trying to fight guys that were 6, like 6 feet or whatever. Because she ran a lounge. She owned a lounge for like 30 years. And she would fight. I would look at her like, how is she fighting? She's a small little, and she but she just doing it all her life, And I had to say to myself, either I'm going to just say to myself, I just totally can't my mother just, because there was, our relationship was, but after I heard about her, found out what she went through, like how you said with your mother, not trying to give her excuse how she treated me, but understood, like you said, the story. So I understood the bigger picture. And then also to say to myself, I don't want to become that either to a certain extent. Yeah.
You took responsibility. And I think I was just talking about on a show earlier today about that responsibility, the R word, right? We talk about the F word and the S word, but the R word, responsibility. I have to take responsibility. Oh, you mean I can't blame anybody anymore? I can't blame the government. I can't blame my teacher. I can't. No, you can't, because you're the one that's repeatedly doing it over again. There's a great book out there called Man's Search for Meaning. Amazing book. It's one of the highest books I recommend. Man's Search for Meaning was written by Viktor Frankl, who was a Holocaust survivor. And he was talking, and he details the experience of being at Auschwitz, right? I mean, it's unfathomable. But he talks about, all the things they made him do, like walk barefoot in the cold on rocks and do just all these unbelievable, horrible things. They get a little piece of bread every day, a little bit of like this icky soup. And he's like, you can take everything away from me. You can beat me. You can hurt me. He goes, but you can never make me think or feel anything that I don't allow. And that's just a monumental lesson in that book. Like I just read it again recently, because I just again, because you think we take things personal and stuff like that, and stuff starts to pile on, and you can go down a vicious circle sometimes. Even I can sometimes, but it's just like that meaning, like you're like, oh, that guy pissed me off. Well, no, you allowed them. Like, what was it about you that maybe you don't like in yourself about that person that take that responsibility, look in the mirror. And, it's not easy, It's not comfortable, but guess what? When you look in the mirror and say, hey, listen, I'm not going to blame anybody anymore. I'm going to take personal responsibility and change what's not working for me. I'm going to go out there and actively try to do the things that I need to do to better myself. And look what happens. You start surrounding yourself with different people. You start surrounding yourself. If you're the smartest person in the room, get a new room. It's all about, having people that, like you said, everybody should have a coach. Like in this day and age, if you want to get ahead, like you should have a career coach, you should have a health coach, you should have a mindset coach. If you're dead serious about doing stuff, make that investment, find creative ways to add additional income into your life, have a side hustle. I think everybody should have a side hustle. I was telling that somebody earlier today. It's like, we all have a natural gift. What is it that you can do for hours on end that you can't even think about it, and do that? Like, what is it that you like to do? I like to personally develop people. I can speak forever. I do my podcast. So I do that. That's how I help people. And I think everybody can do that. And that's how it became my side hustle. But yeah, we got to take responsibility.
Yeah. And once you start taking responsibility, I'm telling you, your world changes. I mean, every time I get up, Christopher, and like I said, some of these, like I said, I'm always going back to you with this because I want people to know how awesome coach you are. And I know you're going to talk about what's coming up in a minute. But what I do every day is I get up and I look in the mirror. If any situation that went on, if it's with the individual relationship, somebody I talked to, client, whatever, whoever it was, and it didn't go the way wherever, I asked myself the question, okay, it takes two to tango. What did you do in this situation? How did this thing arrive? Don't say, well, they said this, or they didn't sign this, or they did. I don't know why they're getting on me about it. I told them, all this stuff. You can say all that forever. But I always ask myself, okay, Barbara, what did you attribute to this?
That's great.
And not so much to say beat yourself up, be like, oh, I messed up. Oh my God. What? No, not doing that. Just saying, like you said, take ownership and be real with yourself and say, okay, maybe I missed the mark. Maybe I didn't explain it right. Yeah. Maybe it was something that they didn't need, and I gave them something I thought they needed. They're like, okay, I didn't really need that, but okay. Or maybe I didn't do technology to anything, but you need to figure it out and own it.
Yes.
Yeah,
it is true. I mean, when you think about, I'm not a big sports guy, but I love the analogy of what do sports people do? Like they have their, Sunday night football. What are they doing Monday? They're sitting there watching the plays. They're watching the game back. They're having their Monday morning quarterbacking. Like, oh, wow, look at that play. Okay, I didn't arch my back hard enough, or, why didn't I throw it to that guy? Oh, because there was a block in the way. Okay, what can we do differently? Like, go back and review what it is you're doing. But like to your point that I really want to emphasize is don't beat yourself up about it, but say, how can I improve for next time? What are some things that maybe I can shift in the way I deliver it? Maybe I didn't make it. I didn't deliver enough deliverables for that person to make it worth their while. What is it I can do next time? Oh, maybe I can make a list. Maybe I can have a cheat sheet. Maybe, continually try to improve. I tell people all the time, fail your way to success, but don't beat yourself up about it, but go back and sit there and say, okay, what could I have done differently? And constantly improve. Like we were talking about our YouTube channels and whatnot, get it done, but then go back and try to tweak it a little bit. If you make a couple of tweaks every single week on yourself or anything else over a period of time, that's going to compound like compound interest in a bank. And you're going to get a little bit better. You're going to get a little bit stronger. You're going to have a little bit more courage, a little bit more confidence, a little bit more swag. I call it swagger. You gotta have your swagger. You gotta have your rhythm. And you just keep rocking your life, but so many people just stay stuck in miserable situations, the hoping, wishing, and praying. I hope and I wish and I pray that someday I'll find the right man. Someday I'll find the right job. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen, show me on a calendar where someday is. There is no someday. Today is the day. Today is the day you get serious and raw with yourself. And you say, you know what? I'm not going to tolerate my excuses anymore. I'll give this gift to your audience. One of the exercises I do with my coaching clients all the time is toleration list. What are you tolerating from yourself? What are you tolerating from others? And what are you tolerating from inanimate objects? I have proven this beyond a shadow of a doubt for the last 3 years. I've been doing this exercise. It's incredible. The lights that go on for people because they think you never think about it all together. But when you write it down and you're honest with yourself, like I tolerate the washer door sticking. I tolerate my windshield wipers broke. I tolerate, my husband doesn't help me with the dishes. I tolerate the fact that I beat myself up all the time. And you put that down on paper. And then I invite people, okay, what's one or two big ones that by which if you eliminated, you would have more time, you would have more energy, you'd have more self-confidence, you would have, or the small ones. If we can eliminate, 5 or 6 of the small ones, what would it take? Like I had a coaching client, like she had a shower problem. She had a washing machine problem. She had all these little bitty problems that just annoyed her enough. And I said, what is it going to take for number one. And we just went through. She was, I need to call the person. I need to pay him $50. And then literally in a week, she did 3. I said, can we do 3? And she says, I think I could do 3. I said, do you believe you could do 3? Will you commit to do 3? Will you make me a promise right now you'll do 3? And she goes, yes, I will. And so we spelled out the steps. She wrote them down. And I said, now all you have to do is just go step 1, step 2, step 3. The next time I got on the phone with her, she was like gleaming. She's like, oh my God, Chris, to go in and turn the shower off and not have it drip water. Oh my God, Chris, to be able to put the soap in the soap dispenser and not have to have me tape it closed or whatever it was. It's pretty incredible what you could do. And that's a huge thing that people can take responsibility for. Because if you say you don't have enough time and you're doing your kids' laundry and your kids' lunches and all that other stuff, and your kids are in junior high or kids are, even 10 years old, teach them how to do that for themselves. If you died tomorrow, they're not going to get their clothes washed and their lunches? That's BS. They're gonna figure it out. So you got to stand up for yourself. Your kids are going to respect you because you're not a doormat anymore. You're going to have another, half hour, 45 minutes, an hour every day. If you have an hour every day to focus, like to be intentional about learning something new, you want to start a website, you want to start a side business, you focus an hour a day. It may not seem like much, but guess what? How many hours, 52 weeks in a year? There's, 365 days in a year. That's 365 hours. 65 hours of focused energy. It's amazing what you can accomplish. No excuses.
Wow. Okay. So now you just coached us. You just gave us a little bit, a lot. Okay. This is a lot. So now I'm your, like I said, your pupil, what do you call it? Your client. And I have to say, I agree on something I'm going to do, because you just mentioned the fact that, okay, if you're tolerating it, let's get you to not tolerate no more. So this is me being vulnerable, and this will help people out here. See, I can be the guinea pig.
No worries. That's good. We all have our situation. I do too. I need to do the tolerations list again too. I need to do it personally. I raised my hand. I'm vulnerable. Vulnerability is a strength. People think vulnerability is a weird. Oh, it's no, vulnerability is like you standing in your own muck saying, hey, today I stop standing in it. Today I'd start making steps to get out of it. And that's strength. Oh
yeah. That's why I tell people, that's why I'm always putting myself, because I want to be the leader of that if I can be, so people can feel comfortable and say, hey, Barbara doing that. So when I want to say one thing I tolerate that I've been tolerating for close to 6 months. I'm laughing because this is crazy. Now that you said about, when you were saying that you're coaching us, I said, okay, I got to do this. So one of my, in the washroom, there's 2 in my townhouse. Well, the one that's close to me, I don't know what it's called, where, when you flush.
Oh yeah. The plunger thing, the ball valve.
Yeah, that thing. Well, I think the chain of it or something, because this is an old toilet, you can tell already. The chain of it broke off or something. So now every time I flush, what do I have to do? I got to
go in there and pull. Oh, Barbara.
Doing it for 6 months, Crystal.
Go to Home Depot, it's less than $10, I think. You can do it.
But you know what? This is even worse. I get what you're saying, but I can even do it easier than that. I rent. And that's the stuff they come in. I got maintenance people can come in and just fix this thing. And I haven't made the call. I haven't sent the thing to them. But it's like,
you have a pen and paper right there? You have a pen and paper?
Yeah.
Write it down. See, this is how it works, ladies and gentlemen.
This is all this, what do you call it? Hot seat coaching.
What time is it right now? So it's probably too late there, but just make the phone call. Make the phone call. When you're done, do a little happy dance. Do a little, I did it. What else can I do? Ooh, I'm on a roll right now. What else can I do? I'll tell you a story of my vulnerability. This is before I did the tolerations thing back in my old house. I used to go into my bathroom because you tolerate things. I used to have to wiggle my light switch to get the lights to go on every time. I have to go in there. I'd flip the light and I have to move it such a way and the light would come on. I would hear it crackle. And then one day, because it's always about, and here's another coachable moment for people. When will you have had enough? Like if you have a toleration or if you had something going on, you need to deal with something, like ask yourself, when will I have had enough? And then try to forward think yourself into that breaking point now, so you don't get to that rock bottom situation and you change it. So I walk into my bathroom. It was a Sunday and I go to flip the light on. I'm like, Jesus. And I just stopped and I'm like, I'm tired of tolerating it. I'm tired of this. What is it going to take for me to fix this light? And so I went on YouTube and I typed in, because I'm not very fond of electricity. I don't want to die, 110 volts. So I went on YouTube because we can all do that. I went on YouTube and I said how to change a light switch. And it was like, unscrew the thing. So I unscrewed the thing. It said, unscrew the switch. Well, it said, turn the breaker off first. So I didn't do that, but undo the screws. My friend said, as long as you don't touch 2 wires together, you're all right. So undid the screws, undid the other 2 screws. So I undid 4 screws and I pulled it out. And then he said, just take 1 wire off at a time. I took 1 wire off at a time. I think there was 3. I think there was a white wire, a black wire, and a green wire. And I took them off. And so they were there. And I took that little switch and I got in my car. And normally I don't go to Home Depot unless I have 5 things to buy. Cause I'm like one of those maximum. I have to buy all these things. Today, I'm just going to go buy this one switch. I got in my car, drove to Home Depot, fought with the traffic in the parking lot on a Sunday, walked up to the electrician guy. And I said, hi, I need one. Cause they had 1,000 of them. I'm like, I don't know which one it is. Again, ask. I'm like, can you point me out to this one? He says, yeah. And he points, it's that one right there. It's the most common one. I look at it. It's like 79 cents. 79 cents, Barbara. I put up with this thing for like 2 years. I pick it up. I look at it. It matches. And I didn't buy anything else. And I walked up to the register and I pulled out $1. This is a true story. Pulled out $1, handed it to the lady. She gave me my change. I think it wound up being like 98 cents with tax or whatever it was. Took my little light switch, put it in my pocket, got back in my car, fought the traffic out of the parking lot, went home, walked back in, put 1 wire in, put 2 wires in, put 3 wires in, put the screws back in, flipped the switch. Holy mother of God, it worked. And I was like, ah. Every time I walked in and I flipped the switch, I was like, yeah. It took me all said and done a little bit under an hour. And every time I walked in the bathroom, I just felt joy. It was amazing. So all those little bitty things, they tear at us, every single day, that compound interest of misery, like, oh, this and all that. And you start taking care of that stuff. That builds that confidence muscle. It's like, oh, I don't need to tolerate this. What is it going to take for me to fix this? I'm in a terrible relationship. I got to have a tough conversation. Guess what? It may go terrible. We may break up. We may get divorced. 2 years down the road, I could find the happiest person in my life and be so joy-filled that, yeah, you go through a miserable experience, but on the other end, you get what you deserve.
Yeah. So you're hitting all corners of my life right now. You're hitting all corners because, we talk, some of my corners you're hitting, and that's amazing. So going back to me, I know some people are like, well, Bar, that's a simple, small thing. I said, but you know what? How much time am I wasting to go behind, pull the chain so I can flush the toilet and I put it back, and then I got to make sure, and sometimes I got to do it twice just to make sure. Time, not just like you said, it's a nuisance, but the time being, I can just get the thing to flush the toilet. I'm done if I get it fixed. So yeah, I've been tolerating for 6 months. Stupid.
You won't anymore. Say, I'm not going to tolerate anymore.
I'm not going to tolerate anymore. And I didn't mean to say stupid.
So it's all about that.
Trigger word for me and you. But yeah. Let's say ignorant. I'm going to say ignorant people. I don't like ignorant people.
There you go. No, me neither. Ignorant or arrogant. Any of those Gants. I don't like the Gants. Let's just talk about that. What other kind of Gants do we have? Arrogant, ignorant. Continent? No, that's different. Incontinence? No, I don't like that either.
I never thought like that. All the yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Christopher, I want you to make sure, because you're doing some awesome things within your coaching, and I want you just to give the audience, something what you're doing right now that they can sign up for. That's really going to be amazing. I'm a part of it. I asked Chris, can I be a part of it? So I'm his client. And finally, I said, finally.
All in due time. It's all about timing. But yeah, no, I mean, it's something that I seriously haven't done. I usually don't do group coaching or courses and stuff like that. I'm just a one-on-one coach. Like I deal with high-end people, high-end athletes, entertainers, business executives, entrepreneurs, people who are what I call comfortably miserable. They're just good enough. They make good enough money, but they want to switch. They want to have a different kind of life, but they just put up with that stuff. Like every day, go into the office, like, oh, I'm supposed to be, something else. So I help those people. And that's the way I've always done it. I've done it for 20 years. But over the last couple of weeks, this has all come off in the last couple of weeks. I've had so many people say, Chris, I need you to hold me accountable. Can you hold me accountable for that? I'm like, I don't have time for that. I have my own accountability partners that hold me accountable, and I hold them accountable. I have my own coach, which I get to meet tomorrow in person. She's down here from New Zealand. I never met her before. She works in New Zealand, so she's actually here in the States. So she's coming over to my house for dinner tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. But there's like, Chris, can you hold me accountable? And I'm like, okay, what can I do? And people are struggling right now financially. And I'm like, what can I do to help people hold them accountable at a super, super ridiculously affordable price where they got to have a little bit of skin in the game, but I'm going to offer them like more than I could possibly, anything to just make it feel like, oh my God. And people have said that literally. I've had a couple of people like reach out like, why are you doing it so cheap? And I'm like, I'm not doing it cheap. I'm doing it affordable, number one. And I'm doing it to make a difference in people's lives. And it's going to make a difference in my life too, being able to help people on a bigger scale. So I've created this group accountability coaching that meets twice a month. They're 90-minute sessions, and they're going to get an accountability partner out of it. So that those two people will meet every week. I'm going to teach them how to be accountability partners. Like, you got to be tough. Like, if Barbara doesn't do something, okay, why didn't you do it? What was the obstacle? Let's find a way to solve for the obstacle. Because so many times we just say, okay, do better next time. Like, okay, what's the potential obstacle? I didn't have enough time. Okay, how much time do you need for this? I need 2 hours. Okay, what is it else that you can kind of maximize or minimize or farm out to make you get that, get into the problem solving, like get to the root of the situation. They're going to have a private Facebook group, which you've already got created. For the people who go for the premium package, they get a half an hour phone call with me every month. They get access to me on Facebook Messenger to ask me any questions that they want. I mean, that alone is insane, because normally I charge $300 an hour. I charge $300 an hour, or I charge $10,000 for 6 months. That's just the way I work. Like, somebody wants me for an hour, that's the way it works. And so being able to do this in such a way that, it really makes it ridiculously affordable. And my goal and my ask for people for doing that is to be, once you start developing your confidence again and people start being successful, what can you do to go out and help one other person? So all together, we go out there and we make this world a better place. And so for me, it's my way of making that impact. And then those people are, of course, are going to go tell other people like, oh my God, I've got this amazing coach. I'm in this accountability program. And that person may say, hey, I want to work with you one-on-one. So, I mean, we have to put our business hat on. I can't just do everything out of the goodness of my heart, because I used to give my coaching away for free. And that was another story. So yeah, it's an amazing opportunity. If people want to check it out, they just go to noexcusescoach.com. They go on the coaching page, and then they see it, and it's got all the things they're going to get in there. And yeah, we're going to rock it. We're going to start on Monday. And yeah, I'm excited about it. I really am. There's some amazing people already in there. I think we have 7 people in there already. I've got about 6 others that are almost to the point where they're going to say yes. It's a timing issue for them, because they're like, Monday nights, I don't know. But right now we've got Vishal, we got Mariana, we got Dan, we got you, we got Mike, we got Tara. And then we've got a couple other people that are going to be coming in there. I'm not going to take any more than 20, because I want to make sure that everybody's got time. We're going to have hot seats in there. So if you've got an issue, you want everybody's input, we can do that. We got the Facebook group. Yeah, it's a win-win-win-win-win. And I know my coach is going to give me crap for doing that, because my thing was worthiness, like not charging enough. And she's going to be like, really, Rausch? Really? It's of the first 3 months too. So I just want people to kick the tires. So I even dropped the price for the first 3 months to even make it that much more attractive. So yeah, but people can check it out. They can check out the shows on noexcusescoach.com. They can check out Raw and Unscripted, the Unfiltered Experience. I'm here to please. I'm here to aim. I've got tons of videos on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that I show at least your link here. Give me a second, because I said, oh, wait a minute, I got to pull that in. Let's see. Here we go. There
it is. Yeah. They can find everything there. Find my YouTube, my social media. They can send me a message. They can buy. I sell these wristbands. One of them says no excuses. The other one says believe, because you have to believe. That one says no excuses, and it says unstoppable. So of course I'm wearing mine. Yeah.
I gotta get. Yeah, I just said you. I seen that the other day. I said I gotta order. So wow, Chris. See everybody. Come on now. See, that's why I like this show, because we get a chance to just communicate, have conversation. People get to know you, and then say, oh, you know what? I think I want to work with them. They're doing something. They said something that really triggered me to say, maybe I need that person. And I'm telling you, with Christopher, he's real. He has a heart of gold, and he's just a cool rock star.
Thank you. Yeah. That's what my son says. He goes, Daddy rock star. We do daddy hands.
Yeah, daddy hands. I'm still trying to get it right. Every time I see your son do it, he's like,
take the 2, and then, or that's like, take it easy. That's peace.
Take it easy.
The middle one is middle one's the U.S. bird.
You got to teach me. I'll learn. I'm gonna learn. Yeah. But he is a rock star in all ways. So, Christopher, I want you to if you could do me a favor, I always like to give you some love by yourself for like 30 seconds and just any lasting thoughts. Any lasting thoughts, 30
Barbara,
seconds.
that's
and I'll be back.
Okay, 30 seconds. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? I'm Christopher Rausch, the No Excuses Coach, and thank you for watching this. And what I really want to implore to you is stop playing the someday game. And the biggest thing, if you don't know where you're going, here's the thing to do, and it's going to be uncomfortable. Write your eulogy. When you think with the end in mind, it's pretty incredible. You start working backwards. And what I invite you to do is to write your eulogy. I wrote mine. It was transformative for me. Write your eulogy. Then every day when you wake up, say what you're grateful for. Number one, because gratitude will breed more gratitude. Don't wake up and look at your phone and look at the news, because that's just, no, don't do that. So wake up every morning, say what you're grateful for. And then the next thing you do is set your intention. My intention today is to use my words and my actions to make this world a better place. That's mine. It's part of my eulogy. When I wrote my eulogy, I cried because I was like so amazed that that's the life I'm going to live. The second thing is, so the second thing is the intentions. My intention is to be present and playful with my son, my intention. And then as you're going through your day, if you find yourself having a pity party or being frustrated, ask yourself, it's all about the questions. Did I set the intention today to be in a pity party? Did I set the intention today to lose my temper? No. Okay, what did I set the intention to do today? I set the intention to use my words and my language, my actions to make the world a better place. Have I done that yet? No. Okay, what can I do right in this moment? Because it's all about catching yourself, ladies and gentlemen. When you're talking negatively to yourself, catch yourself in that moment. Say, listen, no, I'm no longer going to do that. I'm going to say something loving about myself right now. And it won't be perfect and it won't be easy. But as you continue to do that every single day, that compound interest bleeds on itself and you become stronger and you become that more self-aware. And then you start attracting more people in your life and more business opportunities and more relationships. And all these different things start to happen because you're taking care of yourself. And the last thing I'll tell you is the 5. Right? Nutrition, hydration, sleep, exercise, and vitamin D. So hydration, nutrition, exercise, sleep, and vitamin D. Take care of those things. Your body is made up of 80% water. Drink half your body weight in ounces of water every single day. You're hydrated, you feel better, you make better decisions, you don't go to your short-term gratifications, and you rock your life. I'm Christopher Rausch, your No Excuses Coach. I love you.
I love you too.
I love you, Barbara Beckley. You're a rock star.
You are. You always make me smile. You always remind me of who I am and how important I am. And you always make sure that I will make no excuses for me trying to be the person I'm trying to be in my life. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So with that, everybody, again, another Coach's Lounge moment with a wonderful guest and a friend and a rock star, Mr. Christopher Rausch, the king. The king. So with that, we'll see you at the next Coach's Lounge. And always remember, you got that special gift in you. You got to make it shine. Be spotlighted because you have your uniqueness that is going to shine for the world. And I always tell people, you are lighthouses to the world because you give people hope and you get them to come back in their own light. Take care.
Yes.